We are over 500 kilometres from the nearest town in the desert along the Gun Barrel Highway. Since Carnegie Cattle Station have travelled 150 kilometres.
We are really remote now.
After finding some bush tucker,
So good.
getting tested in a vehicle fire situation, eating dust and literally kicking goals, we got to camp just after sunset. The easiest part of the drive is done and dusted. The journey ahead takes a rough turn, as the desert has reclaimed parts of the Gun Barrel Highway.
Be good to get off this section pretty soon. Good morning from Geraldton Ball. The wind's really picking up. There's all that hot air from the land. We're going to be in for a scorcher today. Around 40 degrees we're expecting. Before we go though, shower time. But I don't think we'll need a towel this morning. Put in 2007, so it hasn't been here for that long, this pump. It's great having this option when you're traveling right out here.
But if we didn't have this option, would we still be having showers? Yes, we would, but we would ration the water 9 litres per shower.
The trick with showers out in the bush, wet yourself, then soap yourself up head to toe, and then just really hope you don't run out of water or your shower doesn't break, because that's happened to me before. And you will note that we're using a ground sheet. If you don't use a ground sheet, you're going to come out all muddy.
Ooh, wouldn't mind a coffee this morning.
It's the Blue Pea Cafe.
G'day mate.
G'day.
Can I get a coffee?
Nah, just closed, mate, sorry.
I guess I'll just get the car ready. Given how rough the track got towards the end of yesterday,
Things have got a bit rough. Hopefully you can hear me.
lowering the tyres a tad more is going to make today way more comfortable.
Lowered our tyres already on the way in, but just looking in here, the heat from the morning has already increased the pressure in my tyres. Probably dropped down to 25 psi, which is about 175 kPa. On the bloopy, skinny.
Oh my god, did Chris's car skip leg day?
I think Chris has done 28 psi and 25 on the front. As you can probably tell, it's pretty corrugated. It's about as corrugated as it is hot. 42 degrees.
Since entering the desert a few days ago, we've seen plenty of dead camels along the Gun Barrel Highway. And with an estimation of over 1 million feral camels in Australia,
There's a camel hoof.
why have we not seen any live camels yet?
They got big footprints.
They are out there. They just blend in so well. You look hard enough, you will see the occasional camel, or a few, like this flock of females.
4 camels. That's the most we've seen in one time. You do have to be careful. If there's a bull, bulls can charge. These all look like females.
But I have to admit, I'm surprised and also disappointed I haven't seen a full herd of camels yet. It's something I've promised my daughter she will see.
So we ended up on part of the track that has been used for a very long time because the track keeps splitting. I didn't realise how bad it would get.
What I mean by how bad is not to do with the roughness of the track,
A couple of bushes here.
more so how often the track splits. Thankfully, most of the time, it's very obvious which track is going to be better,
Have to go that way.
giving you a chance to change course,
We're going to go that way, not that way.
Mark spider.
Where?
or at least a chance to back out. But then there are times you get so far in,
Okay, it's a bit tighter than what it looked like. Oh, both mirrors are pushed in.
it seems easier just to keep pushing on until you can either cross over
I reckon we can get off over here.
or get out the other side where it rejoins to all the other options again. We have a great distance to cover. 100 plus kilometres driving at walking pace versus cruising above 40 kilometres per hour has major impacts on our travel time. If this keeps happening at walking pace,
Just push your mirror back out.
then we're going to be looking for camp in the dark.
Be good to get off this section pretty soon. What we're driving through right now kind of resembles like a dry creek bed. And there were a number of times I was like, am I on the track or in a creek bed? But it's just how eroded some of the track is. Getting pretty rough. Everything in the back's been quite thrown around. Looks like we got a marker. Here's a Bedell marker. It's a replica. 2017 was replaced. 1963, 27th of April, Carnegie Station, 152 miles back that way towards the west. Warburton Mission, 170 miles that way. And the North Road, which is that one, Gary Highway. Canningstock route, well 24 and 35, they're 250 miles away, thereabouts. That's how remote we are right now. 840 miles still from Alice Springs.
When was the last time someone was there?
When was the last time someone was there? 9th of October. And today's the 20th, which means, let's say you broke down there, your car, you'd be there for 11 days before someone else would come past. All these vehicle wrecks and camper trailers that are, shoved to the side of the road really is a testament to how rough this track really is. It's pretty rough. Earlier, I got complacent. It was just, I could sit on a nice speed, but then all of a sudden, big washout, and it was in a shadow. Now, once I hit that washout, I lost all control on the direction I was going to avoid the next one, and then the next one after that. I ended up doing like a triple bunny hop. You can't relax on this track. And we're all a bit tired because of the heat as well. It's still 40 degrees and it's 4:30. From Little Sandy Desert to the Gibson Desert. I can see Mount Bedell in the distance. And that's going to be camp tonight. And going by that sun,
Time is against us.
before dark. That's the plan. That's the plan.
Here we are. I reckon we can just sneak this in before that sun goes down.
Sun in the background, climbing up, in low range.
The faster I can climb, the longer I'm going to keep that sun on my horizon.
Golden hour climb, this is pretty cool. I didn't think I needed to lock the rear, so I'm actually still open on the rear diff lock. That's all right. We'll get up this. That was a bit of a wild ride. Oh my goodness, look at that light. I'm standing right now on top of Mount Bedell, and just over there on the edge of the cliff is Bedell's memorial. Bedell opened up like 2 million kilometres of desert. Gibson Desert, Victorian deserts, the Great Sandy Desert. Tonight, we're going to have the privilege of sharing a campfire with the spirit of Bedell, one of Australia's last true Aussie explorers. Last night was a shocker. It was, I think, 31 degrees was the lowest. There was a bit of a breeze, it just wasn't coming through the swags. This plate came in handy. I'm going to take this with me. We just found it lying around. Swags are all packed down. We're just about ready to hit the road again. Camels. Seen heaps, eh?
Well, there you go. A bit closer than I expected, but there's a herd of camels I've been wanting to show my daughter.
This vehicle's got me really interested because I can't tell what it is. My best guess is a Datsun, but I'm pretty sure I'm wrong about that. Steel bumper front, back, so it's definitely an 80s, 90s vehicle. I think this is a good opportunity and a good time to show you what we actually carry as spares for our vehicles out in remote country like this, because if something goes wrong, you know, there are certain spares that are really important.
Every vehicle has its weak points, and for the 70 series being a very robust vehicle, these are the most common things that still go wrong with them.
This right here, that's my favourite spare. This is the rear axle, the short side of a 70 series Land Cruiser. I have snapped 2 of these. One with fairly hard driving, but the other one, surprisingly, not very hard driving at all.
Wheel bearings, experienced that once. Wheel studs or wheel nuts coming off and then the studs snap, experienced that twice.
Snapped all my studs.
And if you have a V8 with a standard alternator, the alternator is usually the first thing that will play up.
How much do you bring? In our case, because we have 2 vehicles that are exactly the same, more or less, we bring brake pads, front and rear, front CV axle. If you don't know how to install these things, sometimes as a collective group, you'll be able to work it out. Even if you can't work it out, at least you have the spare part so that you can get a bit of help and then get yourself out afterwards. Hoses too. And if you have 2 vehicles that are the same, you can share the cost, you can share the burden of carrying them too. Our drive on the Gun Barrel Highway is almost to an end, and a welcoming sight are the sand dunes. That's my favourite type of desert driving. After a while, the Gun Barrel does get a bit same old, so I'm pretty happy to see those dunes. Let's go. I think we just come upon the Blaze tree. Gun Barrel Highway. Oh, only 100 miles from Warburton. So Bedell came across here 1958, 17th of September. Good chance to hydrate while we're here.
So close to being out, but I still managed to get myself into a bit of excitement.
I was literally following him and he bailed out just back there. I didn't realise it'll lead to this. But that's alright. Just gonna wash my tyres here, that's all.
The only time I've required a locker this entire run on a gun barrel. And now I need the front one too.
The end of the line, here we are. Gun Barrel Highway. Ticked off the list. I reckon the toughest thing about the Gun Barrel Highway was the heat. That was probably the toughest thing, I have to say. The driving, yeah, it wasn't too bad, apart from when you get yourself into a bit of a pickle if you try one of the older tracks that aren't really used anymore, but that's about it. It's just the heat, endurance, corrugations, setting your tyres right and all that. You'll be right. Get out here and give it a crack. It's time to hit the Great Central Road, head to Uluru. Catch you then.